So it's November 1938. Jacob Dropkin decides down here in South Westmoreland that he wants to build a 8-unit, 32-room apartment complex, and he hires Robert J. Cadow. Now, Cadow had built stuff all over the Southland. You probably, if you've ever been to the farmer's market, you've probably seen the Gilmore gasoline station. That's Robert Cadow. And he decides to build this magnificent thing. Now, when you think of like the traditional LA apartment house, you're thinking in terms of the 1930s, you think of, you want to think streamlined, modern and stuff like that. No, most of them were built in like a traditional vernacular. A lot of that colonial, and you'll be thinking like, the Hollywood Regency, but a lot of them were done French. And in the 1920s versions, they're always like that sort of, that French Norman provincial farmhouse sort of thing. But by the mid-1930s, we really start seeing it as taking the sort of 18th century manor house as inspiration. You see that in like Roland Coate, Luda Maria Riggs, John E. Wolfe, most saliently. But this was Cadow, and this is just such a magnificent piece of like 30s LA. Look, you expect that to be like a slate roof, but still with these big windows to catch that California sun. Just magnificent. A couple years later, 4 years later, 1942, Dropkin says, I'm going to build another one, because this one was so great. This time he hires Carl Stonerod, and we build another 8-unit, 32-room over here in 1942, which also has these quoins, the quoins along the side. It's magnificent. And they're just wonderful. So you've got 16 affordable units here. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to get rid of those so that we can have fewer affordable units. Well, this time we're going to have subsidized units because we're going to put in 80-some units, 6 stories high. I got to actually pull this out because I got to make sure I get this right. Because they've got a 6-story, 87-unit project, including 12 affordable units. So we're going from these 16 affordable units to 12 units, so a net loss of 4 because of we need housing, so you have to have less affordable housing. Basically what they're doing, therefore, by having 87 units, 12 units, that's 14% is subsidized. That's known as a tier 3. A tier 3, which means they get 3 incentives on top of their base incentives. And the ones they're choosing are the 2 side yard reductions of 30%, an increase of the building height of 2 stories by 22 feet, and a reduction of open space by 25%. And as I've mentioned before, the one thing we don't want to have in Los Angeles is any open space. So as you can see by looking, say, over there, you've got trees, you've got 2-story buildings around, you've got setbacks, and all of that has to go away because of the TOC, the transit-oriented communities. Let me show you another, just down here, their neighbor. Buddy! Oh, you just missed my little friend. My little friend the squirrel. Where's my little friend the squirrel gonna go? The Better Build Act of 2016, Measure JJJ that you voted for, was basically, was the Anti-Squirrel Act. And my little guy, where's he going to go? With this, the act basically said that more density, less green space, more height, no setbacks. The squirrels are all being put onto like train cars and shipped off to places in Poland. Is that what you want? Thanks a lot. So it's actually called the Build Better Act, is its name, but it's really called the Build Better Act, the Better Build Act, as in you better build or we're going to kill you. Well, these cute little places with the quoins and the slate roofs, they're being killed along with all our little friends, the squirrels. It makes me sad. Bye, squirrels. So, what was next to our friends here on Westmoreland? These guys. These two were right here until a few years ago. As designed by F.E. Stanberry. Stanberry, you might know, is the man who designed the Pomona Fox Theater, National Register, the Rivoli Theater in Long Beach, and so on and so forth. Look him up, he's great. And he designed these. And these were lost, these got a density bonus, but before Measure JJJ. for a 4-story building here at 1126. So this big tree in the middle would have been right in the middle of there. So they got the 35% density bonus, but it's not as bad as the new fashioned TOC, meaning that you're welcome if it was within spitting distance of transit. So even though this is, 4 stories, the one that they're going to build next to it is, I think, 26 feet higher than this. So if you're wondering what the Korean reads over the door, it says Silvertown, as in silver. It's an assisted living facility. It's for us old folk. So I'm almost ready to move into this. We're getting there. So in a way, I'm nearly willing to concede that now and then you can tear down something if you're building something that I might personally benefit from, like for us old folk. That is to say, if the pensioners of Old Bunker Hill could move in here, at least it gives something to the community. I hate to see old buildings torn down, but at least the altar clockers have somewhere to go. And that's it. So it's complicated. Many things to think about.
Bravo, Nathan.
Still breaks my heart. All right, I'm gonna go check in.